Okay, so how do we play defense? We're going to talk about some no's, what not to do, but we're also going to talk about it, especially the yeses, obviously, how we want to play defense. So, the biggest thing, flat. You're going to hear this a lot. Or get on the fence. Whatever, however you spell fence. Flat line. Our 10 is matched up to their 10. Our 12 matched up to their 12. Our 13, etc., etc. Our 11 or our winger and our 14 or our winger are both matched up to their guys. Now, in this situation, the strong side is going out left, or the open side is going out left. So this winger is involved in this play as part of the design. This winger has to keep in mind he's in charge of this back half of the field, so he needs to be dropped back just a little bit for kicks. And as he knows his winger is going to be receiving the ball, and he needs to come up and play defense. Okay, so he has a little bit of added responsibility on defense, as does the 14 on the other side. In this situation, if this is weak side, this guy's eyes are all over the other 14. If that 14 is up here playing weak, he's going to be up, not quite where 11 is, but maybe a little bit further back, but watching how this guy plays. We have the two most important spots off of the defensive ruck are covered, post and post, directly to the left and directly to the right of the ruck. Okay, we need to cover that first gap. After that, we are matching up based off of the offensive formation we're looking at. We're manning up. That's all we're doing. We're getting flat. We're talking to each other. We're making sure we're with each other. Hey, I need help left. I need help right. I need one over here. I need one over there. Slide, slide. Hey, push, push. Whatever we can do to communicate the right way of getting aligned against their offense. Again, everybody is covered man. And as the offense plays the ball, we are coming up flat. We are coming up flat to play defense against these guys. Okay? Now, why flat? Okay. Good question. Let's say in this example up here, our 10 came up, our 13 came up, but our 12 didn't. He was lazy. We were just exposed by giving a huge gap here and here. A smart team will attack that space and find the hole that we created for them. Now, when you have to make a physical contact for a tackle, coming up in a straight line almost ensures there's no place for them to go. Coming up staggered or giving them holes within our own defense is how they'll expose us. So 100% we are flat, 100% we are running up. We are making contact with this offense in their own backfield, not in our backfield. Their goal is to break this line. This is the gain line. Breaking this offsides line means they gained distance. We don't want them to gain distance. So we come up flat, we come up fast, we come up hard, we come up together, and we form this fence that they cannot get through. Now, they'll try to manipulate. If they bring in extra guys, we have to bring in extra guys. We have to match up. You'll hear terminology like check numbers, man up, flat line, get on the fence, ready, 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 up, ready, 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 up. As soon as this scrum half picks up that ball, or in some cases even puts his hands on that ball, or if that ball gets past the last offensive foot of this ruck, the ball is out. So again, if this is the man in the ruck, the ball is not playable by the defense yet if it's here. As soon as that ball gets beyond that last foot of the ruck, this defense can come up fast and hard and do whatever they can do to get that ball, to include jumping on it, diving on it, or tackling the player that picks up the ball. We'll talk more about this coming up, but one last thing we'll talk about quick is how the wingers and the fullbacks play defense together. So like we said, in some cases, we see that line of offense coming out here. We got a 10, we got a 12, we got a 13, we got a 14 or a winger, 11, whatever. He would be 11. We got a 14 over here. Now, in the game of rugby, there's a lot of kicking. And especially this year, they added some new rules that we'll talk about as far as why we want to protect the sidelines from kicks, why we want to protect the backfield from kicks, why we want to protect our own territory. So we have a fullback at 15. We have an 11 winger and a 14. This looks a lot like that umbrella drill that we were just doing. Now let's say a kick comes back to the 15. He catches it somewhere, wherever. These are the first two guys that need to come back to support him. However they can. However they can come up and form that shape, that supportive shape of the triangle, looking for offloads or passes and bringing the ball up the field together. Now, as far as defense, the wingers have to move a lot because they have to watch for kicks. So as they come up on defense, we already said they're a little bit staggered. They're a little bit back because they know they have to watch the backfield where the centers and the fly half don't need to watch as much. So when that 11 is in, because his 11 is part of the play, that 14 is going to drop back more because he knows he's going to be less needed on the weak side. Statistically speaking, this guy is less needed on the weak side. We'll have some defense over here from the forwards. Here's the ruck. So we'll have a lot of this space covered. He can play back a little bit further, knowing that he might have to come up to help support against this other winger. Now, 9 times out of 10, the ball is going to get played out here. So this winger is going to have to come up to play some kind of defense using that sideline. This 15 and this 14 will shift over, and they'll support each other back here. This 15's eyes are on the other 15. That other 15 can come insert wherever he wants. So we need to make sure he's also covered. This 15 might jump in line here. He might jump in line here. He might jump in line here. The opposition they're trying to make that same shape where they can mess with our defense by adding in new players. We have to keep our eyes on our men and configure our defense based on what we're looking in front of us at. We need to make sure we're manned up. We need to make sure our posts are covered. We need to make sure we are at the last foot of the ruck. If you are not needed in this ruck, meaning there's no way we could possibly win this ruck, let's say there's some guys in here, they're pushing, they can't possibly get past this ruck, release and come get on the line. You don't have to be a part of that ruck. If you're a part of that ruck, know that your last foot just created an offsides line back even further, giving the offense less distance to cover to get to the try zone. As play changes direction, let's say we have a ruck on the left side of the field where open side is over here. 14 will come up. 15 will shift back over. And 11 will come up. Let's say that ruck's over here. We would expect to see, again, a realignment of our 10, 12, and 13. 10, 12, and 13. They're getting realigned based on the new offense that they're looking at.